Joining us now on The Source, we have a self-confessed pool rat, an officer of the Order of Canada, and a distinguished Brock University graduate, Elisabeth Walker-Young. It's a pleasure to welcome you to our program today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Let's talk a little bit about your experience as a U Sports athlete. Is the fact that you were honored last month by U Sports with a very prestigious award. Can you talk about the Lester B. Mike Pearson Award?
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It kind of came out of nowhere. In this time of COVID, you're kind of head down, doing your job, busy day to day. And I got a call from U Sport, and they told me about this award and how prestigious it is. And they actually don't give it out every year because it's pretty hard criteria to establish. But I was at Brock University, and I lived in St. Catharines for 15 years, and 13 of those years I was on Team Canada. But I also joined the varsity swim team. Our varsity coach made the Paralympic team with me. He went to the Sydney Paralympic Games, which is an honor. If you think of 50 athletes making a swim team, I'm making the number up. You don't get 50 coaches to go. So he came with me. And university sport always kept me centered. When you get to that level of sport, and I was at the upper echelon of Paralympic sport, I won medals and broke world records. University sport helped me specifically stay centered and keep the fun in it. I married a swimmer from Brock U. We've moved out to British Columbia. So it's university sport and Paralympic sport is in my soul forever and ever.
Was it surprising to be honored all of a sudden 18 years later by the organization that runs university sports?
Yeah, and it was a surprise. And my husband, as I mentioned, was a university swimmer, and he went to the U Sport Championships. I didn't make it that far. As a swimmer with a disability, I wasn't able. There have been swimmers with disabilities that made it to the national championships, so I never saw myself getting this award. But I think why I qualified for the award is all of the work that I've done after university sports. So you, as an athlete, many people learn leadership skills, time management, teamwork, all of that. And that was the baseline that I built. And then everything that I've done afterwards, my advocacy, leadership in the sport realm specifically, and in the disability movement, I think that's where it all came together 18 years later.
Thinking about your time on the Canadian National Paralympic team, 3 golds, 1 silver, 2 bronze, competing at Sydney in 2000, Athens in 2004. Very, very impressive. And you were competing in freestyle, backstroke, butterfly, relay. You were a big part of that team.
I went to 4 Paralympic Games. I would say I was a young 15-year-old, because I think in the year 2020, 15-year-olds are more worldly. And I went to Sydney and to Athens, and I was a team captain for half of my career. I miss it, and then I can't believe I did it now that it's been so long away. 4 hours of swimming every single day, plus all the other types of training you do. It seems like a long time ago, and then yet, like it happened yesterday.
You also have an advisory role with Swimming Canada. How does that fit in with your schedule, and what exactly do you do in that role?
Oh, that used to be a role of mine. I'm not in that role anymore. Although all throughout, I tried coaching. The year I retired from my Paralympic national team role as an athlete, I coached at Brock University for the club program there, Brock Niagara Aquatics. And I realized that coaching wasn't my cup of tea, but I love consultant coaching. So when I moved out to the West Coast, somebody found out that I was living here, and a young man with a disability had joined a local club. It was the first athlete they'd had with a disability. And I went in to talk to this young athlete, and then also to the coaching system, just to help them with light bulb moments that it's different, but it's not all that different. And when you're a person with a disability and are surrounded by hundreds of other swimmers without, sometimes it's hard not to compare yourself. So I was able to give him some real hard conversations, but also be a sounding board. And we continue to stay in touch now. So I love that mentorship and that role modeling, and helping coaches see beyond the disability. And once they have that light bulb moment, it's pretty awesome to see them connect with their athletes.
Elisabeth, you've also stepped into the schools and brought your message to young people. How often do you do that, and what is your message to those people?
I don't do it as often as I did because I'm not so much on the scene anymore. Although I emceed the World Ringette Championship ceremonies, and the message is often the same, that it's hard work. I don't necessarily love Oprah's message, if you dream it, you can do it. There's hard work at play, and there are challenges. So it's about goal setting, that being different and comfortable in your own skin is really, really important. So I like to be real. When my daughter was born, she was really long baby when they unraveled her, and seeing that Ian went to world championships, my husband for triathlon, and I was a Paralympian. Everybody was like, "What Olympic sport is she going to do?" And I said, "No, if she can climb the Grouse Mountain, which is this epic hike locally here with her buddies, and know that her body did it, that's what I like people to know. Like, your body is really important to you in whatever shape it is, or whatever it looks like to you. So use it when you can."
Well, I'm sure she will be inspired by you, as many others have been. I'm inspired by you listening to your story and seeing all the accolades. Want to congratulate you on that Pearson Award last
Thank
month, and it's been a pleasure to meet up with you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.